Hey everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of the Shaq podcast. I'm your host, Shaq, and I couldn't be more thrilled to continue a truly transformative conversation that started in part one. If you remember, we spoke about the frustrations so many job seekers face, endless applications, constant ghosting, and the feeling of being lost in a sea of competition. Well, today we are back with part two, and trust me, it's going to be even more insightful in strategic. Uh, Guys, could you please let me know if you are able to hear me all right? Because I feel that my voice is resonating. Natalia, am I audible?
I can hear you perfectly fine, yes.
Okay, one moment, please. Let me just adjust my volume here. Okay. Okay. Let me continue again. So, guys, if you remember, we spoke about the frustrations so many job seekers face endless applications, constant ghosting, and the feeling of being lost in a sea of competition. Well, today we are back with part two. And trust me, it's going to be even more insightful, strategic, and empowering. I'm honored to welcome back Natalia, job consultant, career coach, and the founder of Job Spices. Natalia, thank you so much for joining us again and giving your valuable time, wisdom, and energy to help job seekers navigate this new era of work. It's truly a pleasure to have you back. How are you today?
Thank you so much, Shak. As always, great to be here. Great to have a chat with you. I think this conversation is so important. So I'm just really excited to be here again. And thank you so much for inviting me once more.
The pleasure is all mine, Natalia. I want to apologize to all my audience who are listening to me from every corner of the world. I apologize for being late. Second of all, I was having some technical difficulties on my end, the cameras and stuff like that. It happens sometimes, software updates, and because of which I was late for about 4 minutes, which I apologize for, because each and every minute is precious for me when you, the most important part of the Shack podcast, is listening to me. So please forgive your Shack. And, you know, let's start the conversation, Natalia. Natalia is the best of the best I have seen. I have seen on my show till now. She's the best job coach. She is very knowledgeable. Also, she is the person who inspire people to take bigger steps in their careers. She's also a job transition coach. She's also an interview prep coach. She do wonderful work with the resumes. She does wonderful work with the LinkedIn profiles. So she is the best of the best, and she is a gem of a person. Also, very kind person, always ready to answer all your questions. That is what I've seen in Natalia. And thank you so much for being that generous person, Natalia. I am very fortunate to know you. So let's start the session, Natalia, with the big news. The news is about the recent layoffs by Meta. They have laid off, say they already laid off thousands of people. Then they laid off AI engineers in the artificial intelligence department, and the number is around 600 people. They've laid off around 600 people. I'm not sure if you know about this news. It happened, just recently. Just quickly, whatever you think, what's happening. Say first you lay off a real human beings for AI, then you lay off AI engineers themselves. Do you think that AI is growing and it's thinking on its own and it does not need anybody? And do you think everything is going to be taken over by AI? So, what do you have to say about that?
Thank you. This is a great question. My honest answer straight away is it's not just Meta; it's everyone else. Everybody going through some form of restructuring. I don't. The good news is I don't believe AI is a danger. AI will not be taking all of our jobs. I had recently a conversation with somebody within the Brighton University who's doing a really intensive research on AI and the job market. And she actually strongly standing on the position that the AI will not be taking the jobs. This is kind of like the myth within. I not entirely agree with that. I think that we need to have further discussion and further research on the topic because it's growing so fast. But specifically about Meta, I am aware of changes. But again, I think that this is something that happening all across big organizations. What basically happened with AI coming into our field, let's not forget, it's kind of like followed with COVID. So it went from being working in an office environment, and all of a sudden we start working from home and completely remotely. So that did a few things for us, for somebody who's looking for a job seeker or career progression. And what it did, we used to compete locally. So I was in a specific area and I was competing for a job at the specific area. When COVID kicked in, it's open this up to national or even international competition. So now, if I'm applying for the job locally, I'm competing with somebody like you or somebody across in any other part of the world. So that's what's happened with COVID. What happened with AI is obviously have this whole restructure of how the business is going to function, what the future of the business is going to hold, which departments they need more, which departments they need less. So I think looking at what's going on, unfortunately, it is worrisome, but that again leads into my deep thinking of visionary for a future of we're all going to have to be kind of self-employed. We're all going to be contractors in the future. The companies will have this happening more and more often. So we need to be ready to switch the career. We need to self-educate ourselves because nobody's going to be doing this for us. And we need to basically self-advocate and to be exactly what I teach is to be a great networker because you can always pull things. You can always find out what's going on in another department or what's going on in another competition. So you can be in control of your life. You can be in control of switching your industries or careers or growing your career rather than somebody else like Meta making a decision for us.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for that brief answer, Natalia. And I'm sorry for the fireworks; they're still going on because of the Diwali.
Diwali.
I'm sorry for the sound in between, but anyhow, to all my audience, this is why I say Natalia is the best of the best. She not only sees the bigger picture, but also tells you about the future, how you should prepare yourself for the changes which are going to happen in the future. So, as in Natalia's word, she has just said about upskilling. Upskilling is the very, very important part of our lives. Learn AI, invest more time and money. Uh, say most of those courses right now on Coursera, and there are different universities giving out free certificate courses on the AI, artificial intelligence, and machine learning. Make use of that because I just read an article by NVIDIA CEO. He said that AI is going to make you a millionaire. Say the kids who are in their 20s right now, AI is going to make more millionaires than it made in 1990s when the internet revolution came. So, make sure you use this opportunity and upskill yourself. And people who are listening from all over the world, I'm seeing around on my screen, I'm seeing around a good number of people. I would not give the number, but good number of people. Just let me know where you are listening from and tell me if you've got any questions about your job search because Natalia is here on my special request. She's a busy person Every day she handled many clients. She's a busy person, but on my special request, she is here for part two of this conversation. So I would again want to thank Natalia for that. And again, I want to repeat that Natalia is the best of the best. So make sure you use this opportunity. People who are listening to me on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, because it's simultaneously we are live on all these platforms. Just bring your questions, and I'm going to put them across to Natalia, and she is going to answer them all. And I'm also going to give her link, her LinkedIn profile link, so that you can reach out to her after this conversation.
Mhm.
Okay. So, Natalia, before we dive deep into our conversation, I just want to, understand the current job market situation which we have right now at our hands. Many people are laid off, many people are facing many problems. Some people are just a month or two from homeless, from being homeless. So why this sudden change? What happened in the past 2 years? I think it has I'm not sure, but I'm seeing the changes mostly in the past 2 years. So, do you
Absolutely.
please give your views on that, if you can.
Yeah. I think you've mentioned also something earlier that I think is so important, what you said about upscaling and constantly kind of like looking for opportunities to learn within your vertical or even something completely new. AI, as you mentioned, gonna touch everybody's lives. Right now is a great opportunity to be the first one to learn and to get this for free, really. So I am based right now in UK, and we have universities like Oxford, Cambridge, really prestigious universities providing completely free trainings on AI. And the whole point is that they know that the jobs within the AI sector will be growing, and they're giving us opportunity right now. So I, first of all, I really want to urge anyone who's listening just to check this out, just to see, just basic Google search, reach out to me and we can have a conversation about this. But this is so, so important to take full control of your education, your future career, the direction of your career. And that leads into the question that you ask, really. So what's happening right now, especially within 2 years, I completely agree with you. This is daily conversations for me with the candidates, with the clients, that people with even really big degrees, really stable jobs, all of a sudden going through redundancy or going through acquisition, and they're forced to leave basically, and they're a little bit shocked. They reach out to me and they say, oh, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, it wasn't like this. I don't understand what's going on. I'm applying, I'm sending resumes, and it's not coming back with any feedback, or I'm going for interviews and everybody ghosted me. So I think, again, what happened, we're basically going through a major restructuring within the recruitment sector itself. So if we're just going to break down a little bit just about recruitment. So the recruitment consultancies, outside recruitment consultancies, they used to be hired by companies with a very high fees to help companies to hire the personnel. And over time, obviously, the companies realize that the amount of money that they spend in is extremely, extremely damaging to the budget of the company. So they find a different way. Okay, how about we're going to hire a team, internal team, we're going to pay them still commission, but it's going to be significantly less to what we're paying to an outside specialist recruitment consultancy. We train them. So we ultimately will take the same people from the same consultancies to work for us, specifically for a company. So that had a full change on the recruitment industry itself. So right now, when you do have a recruiter calling for you and asking where you interviewing right now, what is it that you're looking for, they would only have the data for a specific role that they're working on. So they're not going to be your headhunter. They're not going to work on your behalf. They're not going to say, oh, fantastic, Shaq, thank you for reaching out to me. I'm going to start working on the job for you. No, they have jobs that they need to fill right now. And if you're not the right fit, they just going to politely say, thank you so much. We'll keep you on hold, but we're not going to move forward with your application. They don't have time to explain really what's wrong with the application or how to improve this. They just, that's not their job. Their job is, here's the job description I need to fill, and I'm going to focus on that. If you're not the right match, we'll talk when you are the right match. And that's the second problem of what's going on right now. The third one is COVID. As we already touched base, we used to compete internally. Now we compete externally, so meaning that it's national, international. And the fourth one, the restructures of the companies happening right now, like Meta, like we just discussed. The fifth point, I would say, everything happening in the government always affects recruitment. Everything happening in the US right now with the government completely 100% affects everything. The jobs that happening within specific sectors affected, and they ultimately stopped completely, or they moved away into different directions. So that causing a lot of recruitment changes. Again, if we're talking about UK, in the UK market right now, we're all holding up to budget. So that we're all waiting for a budget to be approved, and then from that budget, we're gonna move forward, and HR gonna move forward with a hire. So it's have a huge impact on the government plans, have a huge impact on recruitment and the recruitment direction within the companies, especially big organizations. So I would think that this is the top 5 I can think of. I don't think this will change over the past 5 years. Probably we're kind of like going to stay in the same. So my best advice right now, this is everybody who's affected, like you said, the scary word, somebody's about to become homeless because they can't find a job. They can't, it's not that they don't do anything right, it's just because they it's just not happening for them. And the best thing you can do is that the moment you start seeing red flags within the company, something is not quite right, or like the hiring manager start pulling you out a little bit more for a chit chat and to find out kind of like, what are you doing? What are you working on? How are you working on? A bit of a micromanagement. This is your red flags to start thinking, okay, if something happens with my job right now, what do I do? Because the reality is, you're not gonna be able to find a job as fast as it was 2-3 years ago. So I'm talking about if the job 3 years ago would take about like 2 to 3 months to hire and kind of like to seal the deal. Now it can take 6 months, Christmas coming right now, so that can be extended into the next year. Again, some sort of a government restructure will have an effect. We'll be waiting for that. So it's a constant extension of this deadline. And the only thing that you can do is to be really switched on in the moment. Don't ignore the red flags that you do see, and equally do act immediately. So what I mean by acting immediately, if you find out or you've been served with a notice or been let go, acquisition, whatever that is, whatever happened, from the moment we start working at home, we kind of like feel, well, car needs washing, well, kids needs this, or, this needs that. You have to be fully focused. This is like a 40-hour work week for you. So lock the doors and do your hiring. You have to straight away go to speaking with people, networking, being active on LinkedIn, saying on LinkedIn what is it that you're looking for, being really, really strategic. So you have to take 100% action immediately, not to wait for important things happen in our lives, like to wash the car, because that's just what happens. So yeah, so I will say this 5 is the main ones, and the action to take is to be really active immediately.
Awesome. To be very honest with you, beautifully put. I mean, see the points which you've raised and which you have given here are the exact things which are going on from the past 2 years. So thank you for that brief answer. Great answer to that specific question, Natalia. To all my viewers, people who are listening to me, and to all my family members of the Shack podcast family, and to you, Natalia, as well. I am offering you Comment. Comment is a new browser. It virtually acts as an assistant. I have partnered with Perplexity and Comet as their brand ambassador, you can say. So, what I am giving you all is 1 month free premium and advanced usage of the Comet browser. Uh, you will understand that this is the best AI tool which can be used for everyday tasks like setting up an alarm, sending if you want to send an email. It does everything for you. So make sure you put your name and email address so that I could send you the offer details. You just have to click on it and ask your first question, and then the offer starts for 1 month only. Then you can use Comet, but with uh, less features, fewer features. It's free for life. Natalia, I'm also going to send you that as well. The only thing which I want to tell all my people: do not use Comment on platforms like LinkedIn, or don't give access to your email. Just ask questions and ask steps how to do things, because LinkedIn does not like other AIs. They have their own AI. So so make sure you take care, because this is very powerful, and I have used it single-handedly. So anyhow, after that offer detail, I would want to tell you, Natalia, there's one more discussion which is going on and on from a very long time. Not now, not yesterday. It's going on from last year, to be very honest. The open to work green banner. Does that make us desperate? If we put that on, is that true? Please, your views on it, kindly.
Sure. I think, again, the green banner is a personal choice. Completely up to you how you want to use this. I can see people using green banner even when they're looking for clients. Like somebody in my position, they will put a green banner saying that they're open for opportunities, because all what it says is that you open for opportunities. I don't particularly see this as a desperate act on any behalf, but also, as we spoke earlier, how desperate one should be to say to the world that they're looking for a job and they're open for opportunities. However, if you choose not to use the green banner, there's plenty of ways to do this through LinkedIn. So one of them, you do at the back end of your settings, and you just kind of like set to everybody outside of your current job employment. So the company that you're working for right now, they would not be able to see that you open for work, but it will highlight to everyone else that you do. So that's a great tip. I always advise to do that. But the most important one is to optimize your LinkedIn. So don't do just one thing. You're going to have to look at the whole LinkedIn as a package. So you would need to work out everything: the banner, the picture, what you're saying on your profile, what's your bio saying about you, what's your current job and the previous job saying about you. Because the reality is, if somebody comes across your profile and they see the green banner saying that this person is open for a job, the recruiter or whoever is in the power to make an offer to you, to have a conversation about the potential job opportunity, they would still look through the profile. So they will still make a judgment on your profile to engage in conversation with you or not to engage at all. So it doesn't really matter if you do have or don't have the green banner. It's all about the whole package of how you present yourself online. The other thing that I started recently seeing more on LinkedIn, which is shocked me a little bit. I'm not quite sure if this is because people are desperate and that makes them angrier. But what I start seeing a lot is that people would leave negative comments on LinkedIn, it's not used to be as bad as I see now. Kind of like a snotty, maybe like, because LinkedIn is really strong on bullying on LinkedIn. So if somebody like swearing or anything, then LinkedIn will remove that profile straight away. But it's more, kind of like a comments that just not nice. And the problem with that is it's absolutely true. You can do on LinkedIn anything you want, but LinkedIn, first of all, is a networking platform for jobs, for kind of like a work environment, right? So like a more professional environment, like if we compare it to Facebook and Instagram. So what's happened is when you comment on someone else's post, negative, positive, wherever you're going to say that, let's not forget that goes into history of your comments on your own profile, right? So when a recruiter going to look for your profile, I can guarantee you that's going to be the first thing that they're going to check out. That's, well, not the first one, maybe like the second one or the third one. But the whole point is that recruiters are curious. They want to see what this person is posting about, what they're saying, who they're communicating with. They're doing this partly because of curiosity, but also it's their job to find new leads so they can find new organizations, new clients. So they will go through your profiles, right? So I just want to caution everybody that if you are commenting anything, just bear in mind that it is on your profile, and it's one of the first things that recruiters will be reviewing if they're serious about communication with you. So if they do see any of the red flags, then they will just act on that. They moved on to the next person. So don't miss this opportunity by being angry. Go to the gym, go for a walk, do something outside. Because I do understand sometimes people do just get frustrated with what they see and they just want to say their piece. But something I start seeing more and more of, kind of like a really negative. And I always think, but that comes back to you. You're not hurting that person, you're hurting yourself. Come back to the LinkedIn optimization itself. So worth talking about this. A long time ago, and I mean like again 3, 4, 5 years ago, there was no need for LinkedIn optimization because recruiters go on LinkedIn and they just do search and they have a profiles. But right now it's changed because of the algorithms that LinkedIn is using and changing all the time. The data that LinkedIn holds and the data that recruiters use on LinkedIn. So you really, if you do want to step up and be visible on LinkedIn, you really need to consider optimizing your profile. So then it speaks for yourself, it works for you. And ultimately, I advise everyone to give LinkedIn a really good look, because this is definitely, if 5-10 years ago were questioning about how serious LinkedIn is for the future, can guarantee you it's the most serious profile that you can have that will implement your career decisions for the future.
Natalia, thank you so much for that brief answer. Thank you so much. This is why I call Natalia the best of the best. I have had the pleasure of hosting many job search coaches before, but Natalia is something different because she comes from a recruitment background. She's got hands-on experience on resumes, and she's got experience with hiring managers. She knows each and everything inside outside of the industry, completely. She is the best. This is the reason I requested her to be back again on the Shack podcast. Now, I'm going to keep that going on for you guys whenever she's free and she gives me permission to schedule another podcast, and I'm going to be back with her again and again and again until I help all my fellow job seekers of the Shack podcast family. And to you, Natalia, your insights always bring such clarity and calm to the chaos job
Mm.
seekers face today. It is a chaotic situation, Natalia. To be very honest with you, what's happening is people are losing their jobs. They're not getting jobs for at least 6 months. Uh,
Mm.
they're facing, I mean, say they're just searching for jobs, and searching for a job it itself is a full-time job, to be very
Mhm.
honest with you. But you have a gift of turning confusion into confidence. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that for that service you do to people, and you help people. Thank you so much for your kindness. So moving on quickly to the next question, Natalia, I would want to ask you about. You always speak about our network is our net worth. So what kind of networking strategies a person who's looking for a job for a long time in the sense is looking for a job for 3 months now, and
Mhm.
say it's increasing day by the days are in number of days are increasing, 3 months to 6 months. A person who is looking for a job is very desperate in need of a job, and also he's in need of inspiration, to be very honest, because it will have somewhere, it will have some effect somewhere or sometime on his mental health as well, the burnout issues and things like that. So what kind of a network he should maintain, and how should he tackle the mental health problem or the burnout problem while searching for a job, which itself is a full-time job? So these are the two questions for you, Natalia.
Thank you so much, Jack. Thank you. I want to say, first of all, what you said earlier, searching for the job is a full-time job. This is, I couldn't have said this better. This is, I hear all the time from the clients, and you're absolutely right. What happened is that the people get into panic mode, and they don't have this resource if they're still working for a company. So they have a full-time job, and then they have to also look for another job if they want to leave. So you have to be strategic. You have to be really, really careful with your time, because first of all, to avoid the burnout, because the moment you get into recruitment hiring process right now, I mean, it was hard 5-10 years ago. It's really, really tough. It doesn't matter the industry, it's just really, really tough right now. And tough, first of all, mentally, to keep up with this, because you get ghosted, people promising you something, and then the things not happening. So there's just so much kind of negative that you have to address, and you have to really take a control. So the first thing I would really say is, when you make a decision, I need a new job, or you've been looking for a job for X amount of time, 3 months, 1 month, 1 day, I don't care. What I really advise everybody is to get in touch, if not with me, then with somebody like me, and see what this person can offer to you. Because as you said earlier, my background is ex-recruitment, ex-HR, ex-hiring manager. And what that gives is that I look really different at each of the resumes, at each of the LinkedIn profile. So I see this as a recruiter, I see this as a hiring manager, and I see this as an internal HR. And each of this person looks really, really different on your profile, and they're looking for different things. And this is where kind of the problem happens at the end of the interview. So sometimes you go head and head, you feel like everything is going great, you're up again for the same job with maybe like one person, and then they get the job and you don't. And it's really devastating, because it's like being in a sports industry and being the second one or the fourth one. Second one, you didn't quite get the first place. Fourth one, you didn't get to stand on an Olympic trio. So it's the worst feeling. And often there is not much feedback, especially if this is you dealing with an outside recruitment. They would not have this information unless they have an extremely great relationship with the client. But also the client will tell them, don't say this, say that. So you will never really know the full truth unless you in a direct contact with the hiring manager yourself, because then you have a bit more control, have a bit more of a relationship. So do try, first of all, to look at the strategy of how you're going to do your search for the next job or to switch within your career. The other thing I say is, well, I learned this many, many years ago myself. You have to do the following. You have to use TTP. And if TTP doesn't work, then you have to do TTMP. And what that means, I'll explain. TTP means you need to talk to people. So the moment that you stop having conversations and you in your house and you lock the doors and nothing happening, things will not be happening. Okay. So you need to be talking to people. And by talking to people, I don't mean I'm just applying for the jobs. I'm just, 100 CVs a day and I'm not hearing anything back. No, 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 no. You need to talk to people. You need to find people to talk to. If nobody comes to you, you have to be proactive and you have to get out and do this yourself. So LinkedIn again is a great, great place. You want to be in front of the right people on LinkedIn. Find them. They commenting. They making posts. And don't just comment on their post to say, hey, great post, or great point. Be really strategic on what you say so they can see your value, because they would be grateful to have somebody like you in their network, if that's the network you are in, right? So you have to talk to people. And if TTP doesn't work, talk to people doesn't work, then you need to do TTMP, which means talk to more people. So this is something that I learned many, many years ago when I came to recruitment, and that's exactly what they were saying to us. TTP, if TTP doesn't work, TTMP. So you need to talk to more people. You have to constantly talk to people and to expand your network. You can't be sitting around and just applying for the jobs. Because what I want to say about the applying just for the job. So like you said, somebody applying, look, I'm looking for a job for 3 months and nothing happening. Okay, let's stop and look at this. What's not happening? What's not working? I want to know how many people you spoke with. I want to know how many applications you've sent, where this application, what kind of applications. I want to see your CV. I want to see your LinkedIn. I want to understand what's actually not working. And that's why I said at the very beginning, if you're not going to reach out to me, that's fine. Go and reach out to somebody like me and ask for a professional person outside of recruitment. So not a recruiter, because recruiter wouldn't have time. Don't forget, we spoke about this. The recruiter's world is they have a job description. They need to match that job description. They're not going to spend time talking to someone who is not right for their job descriptions right now and giving them tips and tricks, because the recruiter's paid by the companies. So they're not going to be spending time, with all respect, they're not going to be spending time doing what I do, because they're not in exactly your right corner. They will give you tips. They will say, you need to change your CV. But they're not going to spend, 20 minutes of a free conversation like I do to go in exactly details. Okay, what's working, what's not working. But you have to be advocating for yourself. And if you can't advocate for yourself, you need to find somebody who will do this for you, because majority of the time it comes down to not so much even the knowledge, because I do speak with some people who are in a really high position and really VPC level, and they kind of like hit with the news and they don't really know what to do. And you would think, how do you not know what to do? But it's the confidence. It's the confidence that knocked down. So to have somebody just to hold a hand and just to say, okay, I don't think this is working and this is working because of these reasons. And to have somebody like me looking at the position from, again, recruiter who is looking at your CV really different to how the hiring manager is going to look. Hiring manager wants to know, can you do this job tomorrow that they need to do? The recruiter needs to know, okay, here's the 3 topics of what the hiring manager is looking for. Are you matching this? So I need to see, as a recruiter, on your CV, the actual words that explains to me that you are the right profile, so I can put you in front of the client. Okay. And then HR in between, they really looking at the fit within the company, how you're going to fit within your personality with the rest of the team, how the team will respond to you. Is this is the right team? So that's what I mean. There's like elements that you would need to fit in each of the position that would be reviewing your profile and your CV. So the most important thing that you can do is to work on your mindset and be really strong on your mindset, and reach out to someone who can actually give you feedback on how to check what's working and what's not working. Because often I just look and I just go straight away. I can say right now what's not working. I can say right now why you applying for 100 CVs and nobody coming back to you. I can say why you going for an interview and nobody having a further conversation with yourself and prefer someone else. And I can also say by the end of the interview why they're choosing someone else. And they're saying to you, oh, sorry, they just had better fit within the company. Such a blasé answer.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Natalia. That shows your expertise and also how much you care about these job seekers. I mean, say, these job seekers without any hope, they are just moving around in darkness, and you are like the light for them. I mean, say, to all my viewers, I was just checking my phone, and they you're sending lots and lots of questions right now. I promise I'm going to take those questions at the end of the session while we discuss about this topic. I'm just going to save those questions, and I'm going to request Natalia to answer all your questions. So don't worry about it. I am just saving your questions and keeping them safe to ask to Natalia. Okay, so Natalia, no words to express my respect, or should I say gratefulness to you. I love how you simplify what others complicate. You make career growth feel achievable, not intimidating. So every time you speak, to be very honest, there is a sense of hope that fills the room. It's like you remind that people it's never too late to restart. And yes, Natalia told that if not Natalia, speak to someone else and get help. But I say, speak to Natalia. Natalia is the best of the best. Get in touch with her, follow her, look at her post, understand. I mean, say, just asking question doesn't hurt. I mean, say, you have done so much with the job search. You have done so much with the job search, and you have reached out to everyone. Why not reach out to Natalia? And she is the best of the best. That is my guarantee. That is Shack podcast guarantee. On the Shack podcast, I bring people who are the brightest of the brightest, who are bringing real change to this world, and Natalia is one of them. So I mean, say the process of selecting my guest is very very unique, and it's also tough. The Team Shack podcast checks each and every point about the person who we bring on the Shack podcast, and we bring only the real change makers who are out there helping people. So Natalia is one of them. So I would say to everyone, get in touch with Natalia as soon as possible and make your job search a success. Get onto a job. She's the best, and she is going to help you. And I could see that you're sending in questions again. I think I've got around 20, 25, 30 questions. Oh, Allah. I mean, that's a long list. But I'll request Natalia. Natalia, I would request your kind sir to please do not. I mean, say please help us understand and help these job
Absolutely.
seekers answer all these questions, please. Because I mean, say it can our session can go a bit over the time, but please, I would request for once help these job seekers. They are in a dire situation right now. So, moving on quickly to the next question, Natalia, which I have written down for you. The next question, which I have for you, Natalia, uh, we often hear about the hidden job market. Could you explain practical ways job seekers can tap into that space, especially in 2025? And to be very honest, if we speak about the future, especially in 2026, competitive environment. So please give your kind views on this part.
So this is part of what we discussion I had at the beginning of this conversation, where we said, what parts affecting also the change in recruitment and why it's so difficult these days. So the hidden job market, let's just go over this really quickly. The hidden job market is something that the job basically exists in, they filled before they advertise. They advertise because HR have obligation to the company to advertise them, so then everybody within the company have equal right to apply for the job, right? So we can't not give the right for everybody to apply. However, a lot of these jobs, they already will be filled before they advertise, because there's already communication, we know somebody who will take the job, we just have to tick the box and advertise this job. That's what happens. So that's the hidden job market, and it's the word that everybody talk about. It's there is a discussion about, is it real, is it not real? This is extremely real. This is exactly what's happening. When I was in recruitment and when I was in HR, that's exactly what we had conversations behind the scenes before anything happens. As a HR, I would be calling a recruitment company saying to them, okay, we need to replace this person, or we need to find this person. We don't want to advertise at the moment. We want to see what you have. Can you start working out for this? So, and as a recruiter, I will receive this phone call and I would be acting on behalf of the client. Again, let's come back to recruiters are working for the clients and organizations. They're not working for us. So the hidden job market exists all the time. It's very, very real thing that everybody needs to take really seriously. And the only way you can do this is by networking. So the more, that's exactly what I was saying, the more you're going to talk with your network, the more you're going to know what's happening, what about to change, who is in which team just announcing the pregnancy. That means that they're going to need a 12-month FTS at some point, or they're going to need somebody who is reaching out to retirement, and maybe there's a conversation to have. Are they going to be bringing in new people? They're going for acquisition maybe. So there is an opportunity that the team will be changing. So an opportunity to join, or an opposite restructure of the team. So the more you know, the better your strategy is. So I would talk to more people, so then you can get more information. And it sounds like, when I say this, I can hear this. It sounds like it's really like a lot of work that I need. Natalia, I've got full-time job. When I'm going to be talking to people? Again, LinkedIn. All what you have to do is set up certain notifications, so then you would be notified. You don't have to do any research. You just go into notification, or you just go into your email and you're receiving this information directly. The system works for you. You don't have to work for the system.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for that brief answer, Natalia. To be very honest, that was that was enlightenment for me and for my viewers who are listening to me. Natalia, networking can be intimidating for introverts. The next question is based on the introvert part. Would you be kind enough to tell us what are some subtle yet effective ways they can build meaningful professional connections?
Thank you, Shak. So again, I'm an introvert myself. I don't think that this has come across that well, but I'm definitely an introvert. If I can be by myself in my world all the time, I'll be very, very, very happy. But I live in a different world, and my world is exactly this. I understand the game, I understand the rules of this game, and I understand what I need to do to win in this game. So for everybody in a situation that I'm in, you don't have to do what I do. You don't have to join Shak's podcast. You don't have to be a public figure. But what I would say, you would need to find a different ways and strategies. So again, if you don't want to do anything on LinkedIn and you want just, I just want to apply for the jobs, reach out to somebody like me or to myself. Honestly, have a conversation, because we have different strategies. We can always work out something specific. There is nothing that I haven't tried so far, and I like to try new things and implement new strategies, right? So if you're on LinkedIn and you don't want to talk to people, you still can make LinkedIn work for you. but also you can use your existing network to help you out, because people like people hire people love helping other people. Remember last time when somebody reached out to you and they said, oh, Shag, help me out with something, I really need your help. It makes us feel amazing, incredible. We feel like, on top of the world. We want to help that person. So don't take that opportunity from people around you. Don't try to kind of like be in that shelf and think, oh, I'm a bother to everyone else. But again, coming back to really, really serious question about how to be an introvert and applying for the job. I hear a lot in IT sector. A lot of IT sector is introverts, and that's majority of my work. Actually, this is exactly where we're helping out, and we can also do on your behalf. So we can help out a lot. We can do research. We can find the right people. We can put you in touch with the right people. So that's that where I would start. Again, it's just the conversation you need to have. So then somebody like me can find for you the right strategy for you, rather than, oh no, you need to be loud and have 20 meetings a day. No, you don't. You just need the right strategy.
Thank you so much, Natalia, for that brief answer. That is why I always say, what I admire most about you, Natalia, is how you balance empathy with strategy. You care deeply, yet you deliver our results. I know you're the best of the best. That being said, I would say your perspective is so refreshing. It's not that usual career talk. It's transformation mixed with truth. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for answering that question. Briefly, I'm just seeing my cell phone and the questions coming in nonstop. I'll definitely put them across to you. But before that, uh, let us complete our scheduled questions. So quickly moving on to the next question, Natalia, which I have for you, which is an important question to be very honest. Uh, you know, from a recruiter's perspective, what are some common mistakes candidates make in interviews that they may not even realize? And I'll come back with the next question. I mean, say it's related to the same question, but I'll ask you again.
Okay. So there is it will all depends what kind of a job we're interviewing for. So it's impossible to say that this is the most common and it's applicable for everyone else. What I do see a lot, and I have as a recruiter within HR and being a hiring manager myself, is the CV. Is the first thing you see, and you just want to have all of your questions answered. You don't want to spend time thinking, oh, is this person worked in this job 10 years ago and then they had a gap, or they were like, oh no, they CV upside down, they the structure is wrong. We don't want this. We just want everything to be really, really simple for us, because we are reviewing hundreds of CVs. Hiring manager will have a little bit less. They're going to have about like 5 to 15 for some roles, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but they will have time to read through your CV. But the CV is the first thing that is so important to get right. And I hear a lot of people, I really do want to touch base, but I think it's important to touch base on this. A lot of people using AI for their CV, and first of all, I can see straight away that is AI CV. Secondly, the formatting of AI CVs most of the time is so bad for ATS, for applicant tracking system, like we spoke on the part one. So if somebody wants to know a bit more about applicant tracking system and how that affects you and why you may be sending hundreds of CVs and not hearing anything back, no invitation for interviews, watch the part one. But so the CV is the number one, and hand in hand goes LinkedIn. You have to have CV because people will have link on your CV for your LinkedIn, so they will click straight away, and we want to see the whole deal. First of all, we curious people. We want, again, go into your comment section and look for that, what kind of person you are. But then equally, we just want to have a really, really fast answer to all of our questions. Is this the right person? Are they in the right location? Do they have the right skills? How they can help me to resolve my problem? And that's the questions we'll have as a recruiter, as a hiring manager, and as a HR. So yeah, stick to your CV as the number one. If we're moving forward into your question on the actual interview, is the first of all, I can see a lot of people just not doing research. So when you're going for an interview, you need to do research for that interview. So if the job description says blah blah blah, we're looking for blah blah blah, and they call you and they say, oh, okay, come in tomorrow for 2 o'clock meeting on Zoom or Teams or in person. My question is how this person is supposed to prepare. They don't know who the hiring manager is. They don't know what the role is, how they're supposed to prepare. So somebody showing up for interview, and I'm sitting as a hiring manager, and this person have no clue what this role is about. And my question would be obviously to HR, why did you write a job description like this? It would be a question to me, did I write job description correctly if I was the one writing this? Or the recruiter. It's really often when the recruiter will get the wrong candidate because they didn't get the right brief. So you have to do research and you need to be prepared for an interview. So I would say these two are the main ones, the CV and to be prepared for your first interview, because that's the only chance, because you will be remembered for the both of those things.
Awesome. Again, a great answer, Natalia. Say it shows your experience. To be very honest, Natalia, you've helped so many people rediscover their confidence and experience with the answers you're giving. It shows your experience. And that's the kind of impact that goes beyond careers and it changes lives. Natalia, your energy is contagious. I should compliment you on that. To be very honest, I should compliment on your energy, and even complex topics feels exciting when you explain them. uh, Thank you so much for that brief answer. Quickly moving on to the next question, Natalia, which I have for you is an important question. Now this question is about ghosting. Why do you think ghosting happens? Is it the fault of the recruiter or is it fault of the job seeker? Why ghosting is happening, why ghosting is a very bad thing, and why recruiters should not ghost people? Could you please give your views on that as well?
Thank you. I think the fault at both sides. Not all the time, but I'll explain what I mean. So the ghosting coming from recruitment and companies could be a bunch of reasons. Majority of that reason would be they just don't have time to come back to you. The second reason would be they too embarrassed to come back to you because they don't have an answer. So they don't really have anything to say to you. So they kind of like buying the time, and before you know it, it's like 1 week, but then it's 3 weeks, and then you just think, oh, why would I bother coming back? This person is gone. So that's the kind of like the most common one. This is the most what I see happening right now. The On the behalf of the candidate, again, as a candidate, when you go for a job interview, the importance of doing the research is that you know the people you need to stay in touch with. You need to know who will be doing what after you leave that room and you leave the first conversation with the hiring manager or the recruiter. So you need to ask them questions on that interview. What's the next stages? How do I get in touch with you? Am I going to hear this? This is your research. This is on you. This is 100% on you. So after the interview, it's a golden rule. You have to follow up with a thank you. So many people don't do that, and you do this for many reasons. Number one is that you can keep your tracks. This person now, like, are they going to come back to me or what? And secondly, you also need to know what's going on, what's going to happen after you leave the room, how many people are interviewing, how long it's going to take. You need to let them know if you're interviewing at other positions and maybe they're making you an offer someplace else and you're still interested in this company. So you want to give them a little nudge to say, hey, I'm just about to receive an offer, but I'm still really, really interested in you. Give me a chance. Let's have a conversation. So, but you can't just be sending this into like an info ad email or speaking with the receptionist about this. You need to have a specific person. So that's what I mean. It's a fault of both, but you have to take a full control for yourself and then let the recruiters and whoever is not responding to you take a control for their behavior.
Wow. Say you explain both the sides so beautifully. Say, Ghosting is sometimes, yeah, I can understand that part because I've been a recruiter for about a decade before I became an account manager, started my own business. Now I'm a podcast host. I could understand that pain. We does not have answer, or we does not want to give them the bad news that they have not been selected. But what I say is, if you're honest, just let them know about it. But you have explained that question, say awesome. There is no lesser word for you, Natalia. Natalia, you have this incredible ability to read the pulse of the job market, of the job seeker and the recruiter, the hiring managers, you know, uh, before anyone else, to be very honest. You see trends, not just titles. So, quickly moving on to the next question, Natalia, which I have for you. What do you think if a person is jobless for a long period of time? How should he explain the gaps in his resume? And say, do you want him to be very honest or do you want him to be very tactical? Honesty and tactical, they are both positive things, but being tactical is something, uh, you know, you understand, right? So please go ahead and enlighten us with your knowledge on this as well.
Sure, absolutely, sure. So I would say again, you need to be strategic. You need to be strategic and you need to understand, first of all, what is it that you're looking for and how you will get there. So you need to have the strategy of what you're going to say on your LinkedIn, what you're going to say in your CV. So there's a different ways you can do this. First of all, yes, of course, honesty is everything. You have to be brutally honest with everybody throughout your interview process. But equally, if you have a long-term gap, you've been studying throughout that period, put that on your LinkedIn. Explain that you've been studying, you've been upgrading your knowledge. So actually, right now you are, no longer receptionist. You are now an account project manager. So because you have a degree, that you got a degree, so you have to have a strategy, and you have to just really understand the full picture. That's what I always engage with everybody. Whatever conversation we're having, I just go, can we have a 20-minute chat? Because I want to understand if I can even help you. I want to understand what is your situation. So for that, I do need to see your CV. I do need to have a chat with you. I need to understand what's going on a little bit in your head and what is it that you're looking for, because maybe I'm unable to help you, but not, that haven't happened yet. So I would say, exactly, again, coming back to, you need, when your pipe is broken in the kitchen, you better call somebody who knows what to do, unless you know it yourself how to do this. So I would say, always call a professional, reach out. Again, is just a conversation. If anything that you can take out of that is just a little bit of knowledge, and you can run with that, or you can say, okay, actually, I need a little bit more, and then we can have a bit more of a discussion on what kind of strategy you would need.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for that brief answer, Natalia. To be very honest with you, I feel so fortunate that I called you on this podcast to discuss various aspects of the job search, and also I am doing a holy job right now because I'm helping the job seekers find their bread and butter. I'm acting as as an agent, doing a holy job right now. So to be very honest with you, again, I have to praise you, Natalia. Uh, what's remarkable about you, Natalia? How you merge psychology, strategy, and human empathy. That's a rare trio in today's industry, to be very honest. And I've had the pleasure, as I've already told, that I've had the pleasure to speak to many people uh, 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 who are job search coaches, and they are very, very experts in their field. So but you are on a different level, and thank you so much for giving your time to the Shack podcast. I know it's getting out of hand, but just help these job seekers, please. I have some questions, so I need to ask those questions because we are streaming on three different platforms: Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn, and most of the questions I'm getting from Facebook. So I'll be I have to ask those questions to you. So before that, Natalia, I just want to ask you a quick question on I mean, say now this is a bit complicated question. I'm not sure if I should be asking you or not, but you can choose not to answer. But I think I should put this across to you because this is a confusing topic. So the question is, see, what happened is, 2021 was COVID, and it followed for up till 2023. And during the COVID there was mass hiring and stuff like that. People got laid off, and then they got laid off, and because of that, they were searching for the job, and they were not able to land a job for a very long time. Now what happened, I mean, say it's related to the last question where we discussed about how to explain ourselves. But uh, you know uh, sometimes what happens if we get a job, we think that this is not the right opportunity, and we leave the job. And then we get a job another again, and we again leave the job. So also you get a, because the situation uh, is, it's a very dire situation. It's a very desperate situation. People have accepted job offers which are way below their standard, low salary job offers. So there are two questions in it. First is, what do you have to say about job hopping, which is not our mistake, not job seekers' mistake, and how do you would advise the job seeker to tackle a low ball offer from the HR who are trying to take advantage of the situation? So please enlighten us on both these questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Shak. The first one is the I'll touch base on the salary after that. But the first one is, so we used to be a culture where you have to stay in a job for minimum 5 years. If you are not in 5 years in the job, then something wrong with you, and hence the saying that you said, hopping, job hopping. So the person is hopping from one job to another job to another job. And when you look at the CV, you have a year here, a year here, a year here. What's going on? And that used to be really negative. This generation has changed completely. So don't get that into your head. Don't worry about this. You just need to explain. Again, you need to have a really good strategy of how to explain this, visually. So when the person or the ATS system looking at your CV and your LinkedIn profile, they understand what's going on. So you need to present yourself in a certain way. But then also when you're at the interview, you need to have a strategy of how you're going to explain this. And don't forget, don't be afraid to take the job, because you need to pay the money, you need to pay the bills, you need to have an insurance, health insurance in particular. So don't be afraid to take that and carry on looking for something else. So that's first part of the question. The second part of the question about the salary. I've made this mistake multiple times throughout my career, and that's why I know now that this is the way to handle this. So I've gone through my experience myself. So what I've done is that the COVID happened, and I've taken a far lesser salary on what I wanted, what I wasn't before. And I found it incredibly difficult to come back to the same level, because, you have to explain this. So now I know this is the wrong way. First of all, again, this is all in your mindset. You worth more. It's just about how you present yourself. So it's just about how you have the interview process, but that interview process starts before you apply for the job. That's why it's important to do research. And first of all, to understand your situation, what's your level worth right now, what other companies paying for. So you need to understand what's the worth of your title, basically. And secondly, you need to have a strategy when you go in and applying for the jobs. And a lot of jobs right now, they advertise without the salary. I can hear this question coming through through the screen. Somebody's saying to me right now. But yeah, I absolutely agree with you. you have to do research to understand your value. So when you're applying for these jobs and they don't have the salary tag on them, then you need to understand, okay, this job is going to be paying between this and this company and this organization. You need to have a guidelines, and then that will give you a really strong answer. So when they do ask you how much money do you want, or here's the money we're paying you, your answer to them is, well, throughout my research, this is what I know this position costs. So then it gives you a little bit more leg room to move around. If you really hit the bottom line of you have to take the job, you have kids to feed, you've got mortgage to pay, you need health insurance, just take the job and straight away carry on looking for another one. Don't feel bad about this. There's no backstabbing. This is just the world we're living in, and you have to think of yourself. You have to be your own advocate, like I keep repeating myself over and over, but you've got to, because the company will do that, exactly that. The company will not think twice if they have to get rid of your position. They will just do it.
Thank you so much for that brief answer, Natalia. You know, to be very honest with you, I need to compliment you one more time. Natalia, uh, your authenticity sets you apart. To be very honest, you don't just teach job seekers how to find jobs, is what I'm getting vibe from you. You teach them how to own their value. That's next level coaching, to be very honest. Every time I ask questions, you there's a golden nugget of truth that sticks with people long after the show ends. So thank you so much for that brief answer. To be very honest, I never knew most of the points which you have made here, and I'm learning from you. Do you also give classes after job search advices? I would want to enroll in your classes also. So anyhow, anyhow, so we've got questions again from Facebook. I mean, say these are many questions. I'm going to put across only 10 to 15 questions to Natalia, because we have to respect the time as well. She is a very, very busy person. So I'm going, there are 50 questions. You can directly speak to Natalia. I'm going to put her LinkedIn profile link also in the comments later on after the show ends. But before asking those questions, Natalia, I need to ask you an important questions which I have prepared for you. Now this is based on the career transition, Natalia, and you're an expert about career transition. So I want to ask you, if someone's transitioning industries, say from finance to tech or marketing, how can they reposition themselves effectively without starting from scratch?
Yeah, so I do hear this a lot. I don't know what COVID did to people, but something staying at home made them realize that they want to change their industries. So we're definitely going through that transition right now, where a lot of people wants to switch the industry, and it's become to be more real to do so rather than before, because again, like we mentioned earlier, that the transition is happening really fast across all the markets. So the first one advice I would say is you need to find a similar industry. You know, you have to have some sort of similarity about your transferable skills. How do you going to sell basically yourself on that basis? And what I mean by that, so for example, if you are in finance, and finance world is usually really fast paced, very demanding, very like, we have targets to hit, KPIs, like go, go, go. So that can be quite a lot, but they pay much higher salaries, right? So somebody's going, usually on finance, on majority of the roles that I'm working on, they would have maximum 5 years. People will stay 2 to 5 years. This is absolute maximum, because they can't take the pressure. Right. So at some point they're going to go, okay, this is a bit too much. Money is great, but I'm not seeing my family, my mental health. I'm constantly at work. I'm not resting. I want to switch. So then we'll look, okay, what is the similar industry for your skills? And the similar industry for finance is legal. So legal, then they will have the same kind of like approaches, they have same kind of like ways that they run in systems, they use the same systems, so the person can easily transition from one into another, and they pay a little bit less money, but they more kind of like slow paced, and they're more relaxing. So my first step will be, first of all, you need to decide really clearly what is it that you want. So don't just go, oh, I'm open for anything, because if you speak with the recruiter and you're going to say this to a recruiter, I'm open for an offer, give me an offer, trust me, the recruiter will not call you back again. They're going to leave a note on a system saying the person doesn't know what they want. That's literally what will happen. So you need to tell people what is it that you want. And for that, you need to understand what is it that you want first. So decide, first of all, on what is it that you want, then work on your resume and on your LinkedIn profile. And then again, have a conversation with myself, give me a buzz, and we'll just look at specifically at your situation to see what's there to do, because each situation is individual. There is not one rule that fits all.
Awesome. Awesome, Natalia. To be very honest, I mean, say that's the best answer for this question. Yeah. I mean, say it's better we concentrate and have a pinpoint, concentration on one thing than. And what I want to say here is, people, go ahead and ask Natalia, follow Natalia, go ahead, DM her, direct message her on LinkedIn, and ask her for guidance, what needs to be done, what have to be done, and what you're doing wrong. She's the best person, and she is available for helping people. So, Natalia, uh, last question which I have for you. I mean, say before we get to the questions from people from Facebook, last question which I have written down for you is based on the mindset. I know we've spoken about this. Just some more points on this topic again. How important it is for a job seeker to shift from a please hire me mindset to an I bring value mindset. So, could you please give your views on that?
Yeah, it could be quite difficult. It could be quite challenging, especially considering how the person got to that point. So the most important thing to know is that you have to take care of yourself first. And I know it's extremely difficult when you have deadlines, when you have bills coming up and you have no money to pay for that, and you have a pressure from a family. So I totally get this. And this is what I see the most, that people who we work with, they have somebody in their corner, and just having somebody in their corner like myself to be in a daily contact and to say, okay, you're doing this right, you're doing this wrong, okay, let's try switching this, let's moving into this direction. I can see how much it helps people, but equally I started the whole thing because I wanted someone like me to do this for me, and I didn't have that. And this is exactly what you need. You can't waste time on guessing what's working, what's not working. You need to know exactly what's not working so I can fix this. Because look at our conversation today. Every question that we've gone through, every answer that was given, there is not one fit all. It's always really individual. And honestly, I don't have like a program that, okay, you come in and we're going to have this and this is the steps. No, we have step one, you need to decide what is it that you're looking for. Step two, we're going to work out a strategy specifically for you. So that mindset could help so much, just to have somebody saying to you, okay, I'll hold your hand, I know what to do, we'll do this. It's not going to happen like this obviously overnight, but still have somebody if you don't have somebody like myself in your corner, have your family, friends, you need to have some sort of a life outside, but you have to treat this like a full-time job. So this is my full-time job from 8 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening. I am busy talking to people, finding out an opportunity, building my network, having discussions, being active on LinkedIn, but most importantly, having the conversations. And then when that day finish, I parked, and now I need to rest. I'm going to the gym, I'm going for a walk, I'm going something else. So you can't consume yourself, because it's really easy to consume in the negative, especially when, I'm doing all this work and nothing converting. But the second most important thing is that actually a lot of coaches that kind of like, I have clients coming to me post coaches, so they say to me, I already been to the coach, and this is what they say to me. And then I don't know why, but they all come back saying that the coach said do this, and this. So there's like a step plan, and they all follow in the step plan, which is great. The problem with that step plan, it doesn't have a win category. So you need to have small wins every single day. So when you make a post on LinkedIn, don't just take, I've made a post on LinkedIn. You need to have, make a post on LinkedIn, take, what was my achievement? 5 people commented, or 5 people look at my profile, or I've engaged in a conversation. You have to have something more like a win to attach to that. So then you feel like you're actually doing, and this converting into something, rather than just being, an activity that I applied for 100 jobs and I haven't heard back. I applied for 100 jobs and I learned that in 50 of these jobs, that's the acquisition, that's the changes. So you have to attach some sort of a wins to that. But mindset is a psychological battle, and you have to work on that as well as on your career progression.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree with that, Natalia. Yes. Uh, I mean, see, wonderful answer to that question, Natalia. Okay, now it is time that because I'm uh, continuously getting questions from the Facebook platform. Natalia, can you see the questions on your screen?
No, I'm afraid I can't.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I'll just read out the questions to you so you can quickly
Mhm.
answer these folks from various parts
Sure.
of the United States, all over the world. Okay, the question number one is from Dolores from New York City, New York. She says, "Do you offer coaching in New York as well? And how should we, proceed further to get in touch with you?"
Um,
I think she's asking if you can. You're based out in London, so can you coach people in New York or US? I think she's asking that.
Thank you. Yeah, Dolores, hi. Lovely to have you here. I hope you find this useful. And thank you so much for your question. The answer is yes, I do. I do cover pretty much like all over the world, as long as we can find the time working for both of us. So the answer is yes. The best way to get in touch with me, if you can drop me your message or send me an invitation to connect on LinkedIn, and I'll be able to schedule some time with you. And then we're just going to have a chat and see what's your station, what's working, what's not working, and to see what kind of strategy we can implement.
Thank you, Natalia. Dolores, I'm going to put the link to the LinkedIn profile of Natalia, and you can directly reach out to her and explain your situation. Uh, okay. What think Anthony is from Cincinnati, Ohio. He says, "Do you also help people get hired with companies uh, for blue collar jobs?" So, Natalia.
Sure, absolutely. So I am probably worth explaining, but again, if you want to know more about our discussion, you found our discussion today useful, I really advise for you to reach out to Shaq's podcast to see the part 1. But just to clarify, I'm not a recruiter. I'm not working for organizations. I purely work for people, and I'm a people's advocate. And to answer your question, yes, we don't discriminate by the work. Again, this is all going to come come down to our discussion to see what's working, what's not working, what strategies you're using right now, and then how we can amend. And yeah, so it would be great to have a conversation, Anthony, and from Ohio as well. Would be great to have a chat.
Okay, next question is from Nashville, Tennessee, from Jim. Jim says, well, this is a question you can directly ask to Natalia through our LinkedIn profile. Jim says that what is your, I mean, say he said, I think he's asking about your fees or payment structure, and what is the best payment method. I think, yeah, that is
Yeah.
what he's asking.
Thank you, Jim. And National Tennessee. Wow, we have a whole like a branch of different regions, which is really, really great. And I'm again so thankful for people joining us and finding this podcast interesting, and the conversations and discussions that we have floating with the questions. So, Jim, the brief answer is that you can always go to my website and have a look through my fees, and you can make a payment from anywhere in the world. What we do have is a different fee for the different circumstances. So again, depending of what services would you need, that would be a different package, I guess. But the first thing I would advise everyone is just to have a conversation, just to see what is it that you're looking for, because sometimes people think that they need something more, and from my discussion, I'm just saying, okay, actually, you just need maybe an amendment of your CV or LinkedIn. Here's the strategy, and just go and you can do it yourself. So don't overthink that. So yeah, just great to have a conversation, Jim, and then we can I can send you a link. You can have a look at my website, but I just advise, first of all, for me to understand what exactly that you would need, would be great to have a chat.
Yes, and the best possible way to reach out to Natalia is on a LinkedIn.
Mhm.
That is professional, and also if Natalia feels comfortable, she's going to share her work email address as well, so that you can write your email right after this podcast. So I'm going to share her LinkedIn profile for sure in the comments, so that you can get in touch with her for sure. Also, her website. Natalia, do you want to speak about your website? What we can see on the website, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can see my web if you go to my LinkedIn profile and just click on the company in my current job. So you've got job spices. If you click on that, that will take you to my company LinkedIn page, and over there you can see a website. But equally, if you go into my LinkedIn profile and just click underneath my services, there's going to be a little website button. So if you click on that, that will take you directly to my website. And again, that will tell you a little bit more about me, who I am, what I do, what services we're providing. We don't have, it's like pages and pages to read through. It's quite compact, but we always engage into conversation first. So then I can actually understand what the best way to approach your particular situation. Because again, if we're talking about somebody that's extremely senior level and extremely kind of like a basic level within the organizations, then it will be a completely different approach. And for somebody who is on a lower level, you don't need the same amount of work by me for somebody who is maybe like more unique organization. So don't think too much. Just let's have a chat first and see. Because some people just have a conversation and they actually go, well, that was enough, and they just happily to find a job in finance, and I'm just happy to be that person just to help them out.
Thank you, Natalia. Thank you. I would like to tell all my viewers who are watching from Facebook, especially, I'm going to have to turn off the comments because it is getting out of hand, to be very honest. Uh, cannot answer all your questions in one go. I might have to request her for another podcast session, but whatever I could, the first come, first serve basis, the first 10 to 15 questions I'm going to ask Natalia. And right now I'm turning off the comments for the Facebook Live, only for the Facebook Live, because I'm getting a ton of traction from there and not able to concentrate on uh, podcast. So sorry, folks, but I'm going to put her profile link right after this conversation. You can
Mhm.
reach out to her directly. Thank you so much, guys. So the first come first basis, based on that, the questions which I have, we have answered around 3 to 4 questions, I think. So the next question comes from Tom from Washington D.C. He asks, uh, what are my strongest transferable skills and how can they apply to target industry or role? So, Tom, do you want to be specific about this? Because this is a very general question. And I
Mhm.
think you need to reach out to Natalia directly and explain your situation. And if you can list, I'm sorry, I've turned off the comments for Facebook, but reach out to Natalia directly and she would help you out. The next question is from Stacy from New Jersey. Okay, so Stacy says, and the question is to you, Natalia. What are realistic short term and long term career goals given uh, my background in tech support? So, Natalia, could you please?
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So Stacy, for you, it would be, again, you would need to decide what is it that you want to move forward to. So in a tech, what kind of a tech this is? Do you see yourself moving into project management? Do you see yourself like what would be kind of like the long term? And then from the long term, you can convert into your short term goals and short term education that you might need to get along the way. As we discussed this at the very, very beginning, right now that the world is changing so fast, but it's not something that just happened. It happens every 20 years. 20 years ago, 30, 40 years ago, after the war, there was no computers, there was no phones. And look at us now, people now flying into space like just for a holiday trip. So it's constantly changing, and that involves our education. So I would look, first of all, focus on what kind of a long-term goal you would want, and then from that you can go, what is it that you need to do right now? But it's quite challenging for me to say, based on the information I receive right now. Do reach out to me. I'm happy to have a look for your LinkedIn profile, for your CV, and just give you a little bit more in-depth answer. And just to answer to everybody else about the comments, I am more than open to answer every single question, but feel free to drop this into my direct LinkedIn profile. So the cheapest way to do this, because if you don't have the upgraded LinkedIn for which you need to pay, you can't send me a message directly. So just send me a invitation to connect, and I will accept this within 24 hours. And then you can send me a message directly. And you can also message me on all of my posts on LinkedIn for free. So you don't have to have an upgraded account. It's my LinkedIn open for all to comment. So you can just comment, give me a shout, and then I will get in touch with you.
Yes, so this is the best way to reach out to her. And I mean, say, this is basically a LinkedIn live session. It is because I have a premium account of StreamYards. I'm able to stream this on all the platform, Facebook and YouTube. I want everyone to search for Natalia, and Natalia, her last name. Natalia, could you please help with the spelling of your name?
Would you be able to drop my LinkedIn
Sure,
URL? I can send this to you. Um,
I'm doing it.
yeah, and I have this in the chat that I have opened in front of me. That's the only chat that I think.
Sure. Let me just do that, because it will make it easier for people to find you. To be very
Of
honest
course.
with you, I does not have the heart to let go of these people right now, because everybody is in a tight spot right now. You know, and if they are asking questions, I feel compelled to answer them. So I am so sorry. I'm taking a lot of your time, Natalia, but let's just you know
That's no problem at all. No, this is what we're here for.
yeah. So I have the link to your profile here. Let me just put it here uh, under this live, which is going on right now. Here we go. I just put in your. That's a bit long. Uh, oh, that's a long link. Natalia. One moment, please, Natalia. Let me just do it uh, from my monitor so that I get exactly what I'm looking for. Sometimes sometimes we get confused with all the technical stuff. I'm not very bright at it, but I'm a software guy. I can play around with stuff, but this is a bit too much right now. The questions and everything. So let me just search your name here. Okay, yeah, got it. This is a small link which I can use for today's session. Uh, Let me just put it here. So, guys, I'm putting the LinkedIn profile link of Natalia in the comments on the LinkedIn live. So, use that. Yeah. So I've put in the link to Natalia's profile under our LinkedIn live session on LinkedIn. Reach out to her using this link, and you can ask all your questions. Okay. So it shouldn't feel like that you have joined my live and I did not answer your questions. I'm not like that. I respect each and everyone, and thank you so much. I never knew that Facebook would give so much of traction before, but anyhow, just use this link and reach out to her directly. Quickly moving on to the next question from the audience, Natalia. Dom from Cincinnati, Ohio again. Dom says, how should I tailor my resume for banking and finance industry? Which accomplishments should stand out?
So for something that we touched base a little bit, but we didn't go into too much detail. But every time when you're applying for a job, you need to change your CV for that job. And I know it sounds scary, it sounds like really time consuming. It really shouldn't take you more than 10 minutes. And this is something that we can definitely cover how to do this. There's definitely a strategy to how to do this really quickly and really fast. Do use AI, but you have to be really careful with how you use AI. So basically, when you have a job description and you have your resume, what you have to do is you have to use specific words. So then ATS, the tracking system for applications, can track your CV, so to recognize, so the bot can recognize, okay, this CV is important for this job description. It's a matches 100%, 99%, 80%, and that's where you want your resume to come through. So then the person, the human, when they look at your CV, they can first of all see this at the top of all of the CVs that received. You want to beat everyone up with that cue, but also you want to have, when a human looks at your CV, the human understands, oh, okay, this is the job description, because most likely your CV will be reviewed by recruiter, internal recruiter or outside recruiter, before it goes into hiring manager, right? So the internal recruiter and outside recruiter, they will just look, here's the job description, here's the words I'm looking for. Does this CV have these words? So if you have, for example, your job description written different to what I'm looking for, or your job responsibilities are exactly what I have in my job description, but it's not written to me the same. I have to use my brain and I have to think about this. That makes me work harder. I'm just going to move on to the next CV. So you want to make sure that your CV is exact match to the job you're applying for. And like I said, there's a definite strategy of how to do this really easily, really fast. And it takes time, but it also definitely brings the results. But also in your case, it sounds to me that you're quite senior within your field. I might be wrong, but just by information that I'm going, in your particular case, I would actually use a different strategy. I would use more of your network. I would use the connections within your network. I would reach out to people within your network to have conversations about your profile rather than just applying for the jobs. So again, it would be great to have a chat. So then I can give you more specific and right, most importantly, answer rather than just a guessing.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Natalia. And yes, do reach out to Natalia directly using the link, and she would be happy to answer all your questions. The next question is from Dolores from New Hampshire. She says, what keywords or skills should I emphasize to pass ATS screening in my field, which is nursing?
Um, so exact job that you're applying for. So when we say about applicant tracking system and it's got important words, we don't mean we have the words and we're holding on to them. No, it's each of the job descriptions have to have a specific match to the CV wording that you use into. The easiest way, just kind of like for everyone to understand, the job description, majority of them, they will have a specific structure. Okay, so they're going to have a little bit about, so what is it that the companies, what is it that they do, how great they are. Then they're going to be a section about what they're looking for. So first of all, this is the location. Is it going to be with the office or outside the office? Is it going to be traveling, not traveling? Do you need driving license? So kind of like the most information about location. That's where they put maybe a package, what going to be included in that. And then they're going to open up on responsibilities and requirements. So within those responsibilities and requirements, that's where you need to pay full attention majority of time. But again, it's difficult for me to say because each job description is different. So that's why you would have to apply for the job and amend your CV as you go along. But just the easiest tip I can give right now is that when you have a look at the requirements on that job, the most top 3 words of they say. So for example, they're going to say, we're looking for a person who is, and they're going to list for technical person, technical skills. They need to be agile, they need to have IT skills, and they're going to list the skills, or they're going to need responsible for managing a team of 10, right? So wherever the top 3, that's what you would need to focus on. That's what you need to write your CV, that you have this responsibilities. So do you have this experience, or you don't have it completely? The other thing, while we're on top of this conversation, is really important. When the job description says we're looking for somebody minimum 3 years, minimum 5 years, minimum wherever years, again, you have to use you have to understand the CV, you have to understand job description quite well to know that if there is a chance for you to apply and you will be considered, or there is no chance. Because some of the jobs, they're looking for 5-year experience, they're looking for a 5-year experience, so they would not be considered. You might be the best candidate that they will see on paper, but if they're looking for a 5-year experience and you don't have it, then they will not be reviewing your CV. So again, would be great to have a chat. Would be great just to have a look at your profile directly and to give the feedback to you specifically about your profile.
Thank you so much, Dolores. I hope you got your answer. The next question is from Henry from Manhattan, New York. He says, how can I overcome interview anxiety and present myself more confidently? Well, this uh, anxiety part, please give a brief
Yeah.
answer.
Yeah, Henry, it's lovely to have you here, and I'm so sorry. I feel the pain as Shaq was reading for this question. And this is a lot of people going through that. This is completely understandable. This is completely normal, first of all. So, what I want you to understand, first of all, the job interview and a job search and a career progression, it's a skill, and it's a skill like any other skill that you need to practice. So the more you're afraid of something, so the more I'm afraid of interviews, the more interviews you need to be doing. You need to be, if not in person, if you don't have an opportunity, nobody invites you for an interview, do these interviews at home. So you can have AI tools to help you out. You can have a coach like myself helping you out, but you need to be practicing, because we can give you the questions the majority of the time you will be asked. So there is specific questions that the recruiter will be asking to, because again, like we discussed, the recruiter looking for certain things. So they have usually the same questions that they would be asking, because they just need to qualify you if you're good enough to put you in front of the client. Then the internal recruiter or HR, they're looking for a different set of questions. So they're more like a behavioral set of questions. So they're going to be asking you more like a trick questions, like, how many cars driving through today? And they're not looking for a specific answer. They're just looking for the way you think. So the more you practice, the more you will get this fear just kind of like parked out. But it's also a mindset. Like we spoke, it's a really, really big thing. But don't get discouraged by this. I think you are fantastic by just being already on this call. You're taking proactive steps. You're asking the questions. So I think that you're on the right track. You just need a little bit of a guidance. And like I said, you just need to practice more. You don't have to go for an interviews to practice. You can practice this at home prior to the interviews. I hope that helps, Henry.
Thank you so much, Natalia, for that brief answer. I hope, Henry, you've got you've got good understanding for you've got good answer for that question, and do reach out to Natalia directly and ask her briefly, and she would be happy to answer all your questions. Now, the next question quickly, uh, from Zach from Buffalo, New York. He says, what's the best way to handle career setbacks or job rejections without losing momentum?
You just have to keep going. It's a mental thing. It's the game. It's really is the game. And the rules of the game is like, you have to be active, you have to apply, but then you have to have a strategy when you stop, and then you do something for yourself. So you completely switch off and you do things that help you out. Again, for somebody, it's a walk in the park. For somebody, it's a drum and bass. So you have to pick your own, but it's a definitely a game. You have to do more. You have to kick in, brag, and you have to take a step to say, okay, you know what, I'm exhausted. I had 20 interviews and I haven't heard anything back, and nobody's coming back to me, and I'm just exhausted. Take a break. Give yourself a time scale. So I'm going to give myself a break from, I'm going to be crying. I can do, eat all of the chocolate in the fridge. I can do wherever you tell yourself, but I will be doing this, for example, until tomorrow 12 o'clock. And then from tomorrow 12 o'clock, I'm back to normal self. And also from psychological point of view, even people around you, you can see the faster the person from kind of like losing they self a little bit, the faster they come back to the normal self point. And usually it's the 72 hours. So somebody it could be horrific, something like a death. If this person come back to their own self, kind of like, okay, this is a shocking situation, this is terrible, this is awful. But then in 72 hours, they come back to, okay, we're going to have to deal with this now. That tells you that this is a healthy person. If it takes you longer than 72 hours to come back and you kind of like, really distressed, that's becoming to be depression. So you're slipping into depression. So look for these signs, because then you can act on them. But again, it's all the mindset. So try to surround yourself with positive people. Again, you're doing fantastic by taking proactive steps, being on this podcast and taking the time out of your day to listen to this conversation. So again, I bravo to you. Fantastic. You're definitely on the right track. Just give yourself a little break time to time, so then you can recharge.
Okay, next question is from Uh, John, next question is from John from Manhattan. Um, Given my current situation, um, I am I am in dire consequences. I would not be able to afford your fees. Do you have any plan for me as well? See, Zach, you just reach out to Natalia directly. Natalia, do you want to quickly tell
Yeah,
anything?
100%. Yes, it's honestly, it's not about the money. It's just about finding a solution for you. So even the conversation right now, I'm sure you found some sort of information that would be helpful. So my advice always, don't think about the money, don't think about anything else. Just reach out. Let's have a chat. I'll give you some tips on the call, regardless of anything. But most importantly, the phone call conversation is not the sales pitch. It's for me to understand what's working, what's not working, if I can help you even, so it's just the conversation. And like I said, I've not had anyone yet walking out and saying, oh well, that was a waste of time. We do a complete free CV review, so I can give you tips on your CV as well. So don't be in the darkness, don't be by yourself. Definitely reach out, and we can help out. At least I can help you out to stay in touch with my content on LinkedIn, with this podcast, so then you can still get information as you go along, so you're not on your own.
Next question is from Vinod, who is from India. He says, uh, can you help me when say, can you help me? Actually, he's asking if you can help globally, which is yes. Uh, Secondly, he's asking, how can I assess job offers effectively beyond salary, culture, growth, stability, and a location? So for Vinod from India.
Yeah, I think again, it would be great to have a conversation so I can best understand where you're applying for, because it sounds like you're trying to go international, and applications that you're sending international. And I can understand why it could be challenging, but it would be great to have a chat to understand what's your current situation, so then I can address more on what you need to amend. I think that if this is not international but national, you're applying for the jobs and not hearing back, or that could be a problem with the CV, with the wording again on your CV when you're applying for the jobs, how you're amending your CV. But yeah, it would be great to have a chat actually, because again, if you're in any part of the world, just it doesn't matter, because the recruitment system is exactly the same all over the world. People interviewing people basically. So I can give you different tips on if that's still in India or you're looking internationally.
Okay. Next question is from Jim from Fort Worth, Texas. Okay, Texas, my favorite place. Most of my friends are from Texas. So Jim asks, what metrics should I track to measure progress, application responses, interviews, offers?
Yeah, again, I would add more of something easy to be measured, because this is what you're using right now is the measurable. They're very hard to get. It's like having a KPI, so key performance elements in the business world or sales world. They usually like how many sales you've done, how many converted into financial income, basically for the company. But what you want to have is how many daily steps of actions you've taken and what that converted into. Okay, so again, so for me, for example, I've got my follow on LinkedIn. I need to speak with people, so I need to reach out to people, I need to make a post, I need to comment on that post, I need to speak with other people. So then you can see, okay, I'm not chasing the outcome, I'm chasing the action. So I hope that helps. So that's what I would do.
I hope you got your answer. So if you need more details, you can directly reach out to Natalia. And after after the, see, I still can see 5 to 6 questions. After these questions, I'm not taking any other questions. So don't feel that I haven't included your questions into the session, because we have to respect the time. Natalia is a very busy person, and we need to wrap up the session soon. So quickly, I'm going to include 5 more questions, which are from states uh, again. So the next question is from Stella. Stella says, after uh, I took a gap after my first child. Now I want to work again, enter the workforce. What should be my plan of action? Where should I start? So, Natalia, please.
Yes, Stella, congratulations on motherhood. I think you're fantastic. You are doing many things at once. I just bravo to you. And I understand how difficult and challenging it is when it comes down to career and putting money into your bank account and the fear that you have to come back. Don't be fearful. Just you need to have a look at your CV. You need to have a look how you present yourself on LinkedIn. Again, LinkedIn is really important in any industry. And LinkedIn is right now working really hard to bring more young people to the platform. So definitely I would have a chat with you to see, show me your CV, show me your LinkedIn, let's work out the strategy. Because a lot of people I see, they kind of like make a mistake of just putting motherhood or wherever, but it's just a different wording. I would just write this differently. I would still use this, that just because you become a mother, it doesn't mean that you stop being professional, doesn't mean that you're not coming back in the workforce. So first of all, don't let that get into your head that you are somehow less. You are definitely more now. But I also understand how difficult and challenging it could be to someone as a new responsibility as a parent. So yeah, I would just invite you to have a conversation, so then we can review what's the best next plan of action is. This also depends on the industry you want to go back to. What kind of, what is it that you want in the next step?
I hope, Stella, you got your answer. Thank you so much for joining the Shack podcast today. And do reach out to Natalia for in brief meeting with Natalia. She is very generous to answer all your questions. So the next question is from Chicago, Illinois. Anwar is asking, um, my visa is going to expire very soon. Please
Mhm.
help me. Are you on a H-1B visa by any chance, Anwar? Not sure. I couldn't understand your question. So, Natalia, I think he's asking, his visa is going to expire soon. He does not have a job, I think.
Yeah.
I think if I'm right. So, what, what is the
Again,
best? Please go ahead.
yeah. Thank you. So first of all, thank you so much for a question from Chicago. I just like the city. So yes, visa expiry. So we have the same in London and UK. We have the same problem. People reach now at the end of the visa, but there's a way definitely to handle this. You just need to be strategic of how you conducting yourself with the interviews. So I wouldn't lead with my visa is about to run out, because if you break down how much the company would need to pay daily for the visa for somebody to be hired for visa, I don't have numbers for US right now, especially for Chicago, but in London it would be something like £20 a day, or sorry, £20 a week. So it's a ridiculous small amount, but in the company's mind, they go, oh, this is, we don't have a budget for that. So definitely there's a strategy how to get to that point and how to have a conversation with companies that you're applying for. But yeah, give me a shout, give me a nudge, and I will definitely try to help you out.
Just to let everyone know that Natalia is available on LinkedIn, not Facebook, because we are streaming simultaneously on multiple platforms. You're able to see this live. This is happening on LinkedIn. So reach out to Natalia on LinkedIn only, which is a professional platform. So you can, ask all your questions on LinkedIn. Most of the questions are from Facebook. So search for Natalia. I've also put in her link to the email address. So you can just check that out and reach out to her quickly. Another question from Naperville, Chicago. Another question from Naperville, Chicago, from Iftekhar. He says, what is the current, what is the current situation of the job market with the H1B visa getting, uh, with the H1B visa getting difficult to get? I think he's asking about the new H-1B visa fee,
Mhm.
and he's asking about the job situation. Iftikhar, are you in Naperville right now, or any some other place? Because if you're there, you should know about the situation. But anyways, we'll ask Natalia. What do you think about the situation with the new H-1B rule with the $100,000 fee?
Yeah, again, if you just, it's the mindset for the companies. We have exactly the same in London. That's why I mean, recruitment is around the world. It's exactly the same system. It's just knowing how to handle this and knowing how to represent yourself. And it's basically the company is saying this is too much money for us to pay for someone. We have a workforce that we can hire for less. But it's about how you position yourself. Because if you position yourself as you are the best candidate for that job, then £20, $20 a week fee for them is becoming to be pointless. So I would just, again, I would look at how you position yourself and in front of whom you position yourself for. So again, when we talk about talking to people, you need to be talking to the right people, but don't talk to them about your visa status and how you're going to get the job with the visa. Talk to them about your value, talk about your experience, talk about how much you can change to the company. So then they see you as an asset to the company rather than to somebody who is constantly asking about visa situation, because of course they're going to say just no, 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 we don't want to spend money. But if you push with your knowledge, your industry knowledge, your insightful knowledge, being in front of the right hiring managers so they can see you, so then they can advocate for you to their companies and to say, okay, well, this person definitely somebody that we need to fit in. Trust me, money makes no sense in those conversations. So don't let that stop you.
Thank you. I hope you got your answer, and do reach out to Natalia, and she would be happy to answer all your questions. Okay, next question from again from India. The Shamim asks, "Is this the best time for looking for jobs outside internationally?" Natalia, what do you have to say?
So I would say right now we're in a good time, yes, before Christmas, because we are just after September. So October, November is a good time to look for a job. You have to be fast though. So if you haven't started and you just starting out, you need to be really proactive right now. So then, because in European setting, we will move into Christmas time about December, and then the recruitment it gets on hold until January. A lot of companies in London are looking for the budget. We're waiting for the budget to be confirmed by our government, and a lot of HR saying that, oh, we're just going to wait until January. So right now is the sweet spot of October, November to applying. So go for it.
Awesome, Shamim. If you still won't have any doubts, you can reach out to Natalia directly. Uh, Natalia, are you comfortable giving out your email address as well? Okay, we've got the website, so
Yeah.
you can reach out to Natalia on the website. So you can put across all the questions. There are some questions which I does not think that I should ask Natalia, which is specific to your situation. I mean, say there are questions about. I mean, say I will put it anonymous. So a person is asking, they have been deported twice. Is that possible? So they have been deported. Is there any way they can get back to the US again? Well, you should be asking this question directly to Natalia. And if you're deported, I mean, she cannot be deported twice. She will be deported only once. So anyhow, Natalia, quickly, can you give a brief answer to that? Can you?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll echo exactly what you said. It's quite difficult to give an answer to that specific question. Would be great to have a chat and to see how I can help out. But yeah, without having more details, it's quite challenging.
Okay, quickly to the next question. I know most of the people might be thinking he's not taking my question, but I'm taking a question
Mhm.
which is involved, or which is very general to everyone. I mean, say it will touch everyone. So I'm taking those kind of questions, so that it can benefit most of the people. So the next question is from Jacob from New Orleans. He says, how often should we meet and what should be the focus of our coaching sessions? I think he's asking about
Mhm.
the program which you
So
offer.
yeah, it will depends what exactly that you need, because again, until I assess the actual your particular situation and what exactly needed, would it need a CV update? Would it need? Do we need to create profile on LinkedIn, or do we need to rewrite LinkedIn profile? And the sessions as well. It's quite difficult to say because I'm not quite sure what exactly you're looking for. So some people they just need a little nudge and just hold on. One of the sessions that really really popular and works for a lot of people is it's a 90-minute conversation or it's a 60-minute conversation. And then, for example, when you go for an interview and you want to have a prep, so this is specific interview I'm going for, this is what the job description is, let's work out what kind of questions that they might be asking you, so basically to prepare you better. The other way that is really helpful for people who actually at their last interview, so they received an offer from the job, but they just want to make sure that they accept in an offer for the best money they can negotiate. So this conversation is really helpful as well. So this is probably the most two popular, but the rest of the conversations are very much about any topic, any challenges somebody might be having, and we just discuss it one by one. If you look going for an exact program, so I do have a program for 6 weeks. So we meet weekly. We have a conversation 60 minutes, but then again, that will be so specific and amended to each individual person. I'm not the person who's like holding on to this is the structure. I just know that it have to be amended specifically for the person that I'm working with. So it's really individual. It would be great to have a chat.
Thank you so much for that answer, Natalia. Okay, now this is an interesting question from Khalid. He's from Dubai. Okay, are
Wow.
you? Yeah, Dubai is Middle East, Natalia. So the question is, can you help someone uh, in person? I would be happy to, you know, I think he's offering to. He's first of all he's asking, can you coach someone in person, and also he is offering to, uh, bear the expenses for all the. I think about it. So if you're available online globally, or can you coach someone in person and things
Yeah,
like that?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we just need to have a conversation so then we can discuss what exactly that you need, what's your time frame, what exactly you're looking for, and like I said wow because we have such a wide. We literally have a whole world in our comments today, which is so fantastic. But it's great to hear from Dubai as well. But yeah, give me a call, give me a shout. Shaq, also I put my website and I put my email address into the chat that I have an access to. So feel free to share this with everyone. And again, I'm really helpful. I'm really thankful for the questions that coming through. I think this is fantastic that people are so interested in their own career and taking their own steps to progress their career and understand the importance of this and making the steps. So I will absolutely be honored to answer all of your questions. So you've got my email. The website has a kind of like just a button, so you can book straight away directly in my calendar the meeting with me, and we can have a conversation. Or you can drop me a message on LinkedIn or an email, and we can schedule some time as well.
Sure, sure. I'm just checking. Uh, did you put in the LinkedIn text box or on the comments?
So I have the platform that we use in to StreamYard. So on the StreamYard, there is a private chat.
Ah, yes, yes, got it.
Mhm.
Let me just that would be great actually.
Mhm.
Uh,
Would you like to read another question so I can give an answer
yeah,
while you're
sure,
doing it?
sure. The next question is from Sam from uh, New Mexico, and
Wow.
New Mexico. He says, think uh, just one moment. New Mexico. He says, how can I articulate value when changing roles or industries, career pivots? I think he's asking about you know
Mhm.
changing roles and career transition.
Yeah.
So, Talia, could
Yeah.
you please?
Yeah, absolutely. So when you change your career, first of all, you need to, again, to have a really clear understanding of why you're doing this. Because the last thing that you do want on your CV, on your LinkedIn profile, is to have these changes all the time, because that does give an indication that you don't quite know what you want. So then that puts you in a risk factor for anyone to hire you, basically, because the first thing that they're going to think, oh, is this person going to stay? Are they going to change? Look at them, they're switching all the time. So that has it's slightly different to job hopping, what we discussed earlier. But in terms of the transition, again, you just need to have a look for which industries are close to what you do right now, because that's going to be easy for you to move from one to another. So the example I gave earlier was the financial and legal. They just enter sectors, so they have the same techniques, they say the same mind thinking. So you just need to have a look exactly what is it that you want as an end goal, and then what is available right now to move, and then you can amend and look for what skills do you have, maybe some skills that you need to develop. But yeah, in majority of this, you will have always some sort of an industry you can move, just a parallel move rather than a vertical one.
Okay. I hope you got the answer. Natalia, I'm just facing some issue with copying this and putting it in the comment box. But right after the podcast, I'm going to do that so that everyone can have a, get in touch with you. But what I can do is from the private chat, I could, this is the website, right? Natalia,
So that's my
jobspices.thinkific.com,
email.
right?
So nataliajobspices.com is my email, and the one above is the jobspices.thinkific.com is the website.
Okay. This is the website, Natalia, which is rolling on the screen. That would be great if everybody can make a note of it. Jobspices.thinkific.com. So this is the website, www.jobspices.thinkific.com.
Sorry, it's not www, it's HTTPS.
Okay.
That's what I mean.
HT.
It would be easy. It would be easier just to copy paste in a
Yeah.
comment after the conversation.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So you can reach out directly to her website through this. Next question is from Saudi Arabia, which is again Middle East. Uh, Natalia works globally, but anyhow, it's my job. Take the questions. Also, people of whom questions I wasn't able to take, please don't mind. Reach out to Natalia directly after this session. So the next question is from Amir from Saudi Arabia. He says, "I am I am the director of a company looking for a job, looking for my next role as senior vice president. Would you be able to help me?" So C-suite executive are looking for help. Amir, Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, absolutely. I 2 weeks ago, I've taken two new clients from Saudi Arabia. Some of them looking to relocate to London or UK. So yeah, it's not something that not new to me. We can definitely have a conversation. Like I mentioned earlier, we have different levels that we cover, so it doesn't really matter if it's a C-suite or somebody on a more kind of like a startup. So yeah, absolutely, it would be great to have a chat and to see exactly what you're looking for. So looking at your title, what I can hear from the question director. So I'd just be really keen to find out what exactly that you do and what exactly you would be looking for, and also location wise. So then we can see more into what needs to be done.
Awesome, awesome. I wouldn't be taking more questions. I would only take two more questions because it is getting way out of hand and we are running out of time. So, Zachary, Zachary from Florida, USA says, I had a conflict with my manager. Now he's putting me into a PIP because of grudge. I mean, say these are personal questions, um, Zachary. But anyways, I'm going to put it across to Natalia.
Yeah, yeah.
Natalia, conflict at the workplace. What do you have to say
Uh,
about that?
hap- happens all the time. Happens all the time. Something like 70% of time people want to leave or forced to leave is because of the management clash. So it happens all the time. I would say, Zach, definitely reach out so we can have a conversation. But when they put you basically on a performance review, is they it just depends on the situation. They have a system basically that they have to follow. They can't just get rid of people. They can't just fire on a day. They have to follow a specific system. So this first system would be to have a informal meeting, then it will be formal meeting, and so forth. And PIP is nothing to be scared of. They basically put you in a system, and that's the next step in the system. But it is definitely a red flag to you. So what I said about red flags before, when you see one, you need to act on it. So I don't mean to start giving them a notice. Definitely don't leave. Definitely don't give them any opportunity to make this worse in any way for you. But definitely start looking at what other options are there, just in case if something does happen, then you've got something lined up. So don't wait for anything to happen with your. But PIP happens all the time. Performance reviews. Yeah, it's like I said, 70% of people looking for another job because they have a clash with the management. There was a really struggle with the managers being trained to be a manager, so they just pushed into that role and then never receive a training, so they don't know how to manage people. So that's kind of understanding of the problem there is. But do reach out. It would be great to have a chat, so to see how I can help.
Okay. I hope have uh, that you have your answer. Do not punch the manager by any chance. Don't get mad at the management. If you do that, then then it's going to be a disaster again. Anyhow, anyhow. Okay. Uh, S- Shroff. Last question. This is going to be the last question. Just to let everyone know. Okay. Last question based on this. Shroff from India asks, last question. I does not have the proper leaving certificates or experience letters. Uh, I I think I think he wants to say, just to put it simply, I think he had a conflict and he does not have the experience letter from the last job, which is important to get another job. Just or I mean, say there is a background check and they call your last manager and ask him how was this guy. So he does not have that with him. So how should he manage? Is asking, I think. Shroff from
Yeah.
India.
Thank you. Welcome to the last question of the day. But again, I just don't want anyone to think that we are cutting off the questions. They're so important. Do send them my way. And if you can't reach out to me, just drop them to Shark, and I'm sure that we'll find a way to forward them to me. To answer your question, so there's a few things. Number one, utilize your LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, you can have recommendations by other people. So you're gonna have interview with somebody and they're going to make you an offer and they're going to speak with that manager and the manager going to say, oh, this person was terrible. You can always say, but look at my LinkedIn. All these people, left me hundreds of recommendations. So is it just the one person? So you will give yourself a little bit more credibility, and you will destroy credibility of that person. The other thing I want to touch base really quickly, in UK, this is illegal for somebody to give a bad review for a job that they've done for them. So if you did receive a job review, so you received an offer and then they revived the offer because they said, oh, we spoke with your previous employer and they said that you were rubbish, whatever, and hence the reason we're not making you an offer, you can sue them. So in UK, this is really, really strict, and this is completely illegal. But I completely understand how this could how could this be against you in India. So in your current position, I would utilize your LinkedIn and recommendations on LinkedIn, and reach out to me. I'll give you one. I'll write one for you. So then you have at least one to begin with. But then also I would be really honest at your interview process, not at the first stages, but when they make you an offer, I would say, when they say, okay, can we go for your manager, we're going to start kind of like a paperwork, we're happy for you to start, I would mention to them that there was a conflict or whatever that was, didn't meet the characteristics of both of us, hence the reason this person might say this, but it would equally be great if you can find other people who can also benefit for you, and previous employers before that. So then again, you build up your case a little bit more, so then you stand out. So I hope that helps, and definitely good luck. But do reach out. I'll be so happy to leave a review.
Guys, let me tell you once again that this podcast is happening on LinkedIn. This is a LinkedIn live session. It's not a Facebook live. It is only because StreamYards gives us an option to stream our broadcast on different platforms. You're able to see on Facebook. So do reach out to her on her website and LinkedIn. She's I Natalia, are you on Facebook as well?
I'm not as a company, but if you will give me the link to this platform on Facebook, and I can see the questions there, I will make arrangements to come back to everyone.
Sure, sure. But the best way is on LinkedIn, not Facebook. Professional way to reach Natalia is LinkedIn. She is best available on LinkedIn, and she would be happy to answer all your questions through email and stuff like that. And don't think I haven't taken all your questions. I have around uh, nearly 250, more than that. I did not count. It was getting out of hand. So anyhow, I cannot manage everything on myself. Got a small team, but anyhow, I am giving you her website. I'm giving you her a LinkedIn ID. Do reach out to her from any place in the whole world. Natalia is best available globally online, but if in case you want her expertise in person, then you have to pay for her travel and everything.
Yeah,
So
you need to reach out. You need to reach out. We need to talk about it.
this is how you can she can work with uh, I mean, say, if at all, if any organization wants Natalia's help for people who are on bench, they want them to get hired. There are companies, Natalia, where people have will be on bench, and organization helps them to search for other jobs. They will be on bench in the sense they would not do any work but receive a half pay or a full pay, to be very honest. But they will be on a bench for 6 months, and where they assist people to get hired. So Natalia can help there as well. Well, I've said that I'm not going to take more questions, but the last question is important. And if Natalia permits me, I'll take this question. So, okay. Last question from the chat. Kareem from Las Vegas asks, um, Do you think AI is going to take over the world? Yeah, this is a silly question. AI is going to take over the world, and
There's no
what is
silly questions.
what is the importance of education right now, or should I upskill myself with the hard skills? Like I think he's asking about the blue collar jobs, like a plumber or kind of jobs. Should he more concentrate on making money doing these jobs, or should he get an education? I think he's really young, so let's take this question as well.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for your question, and Las Vegas as well. Welcome. There is no silly questions. I'm welcoming all of them. And so we started this conversation about AI and the importance of AI in the world and how it will change and already have an impact on recruitment and hiring strategies. Meta was one of the examples that we were having a discussion about. So what I would say is, again, would be great to have a chat to understand your situation. Judging by the question, it's quite difficult to know exactly what you would be looking for and what would be the best plan of action. But saying that, I would also think that AI definitely, if you can have any training on AI, that will be always beneficial just to have it on your CV, on your profile. But equally, you need to see where you are right now, what kind of jobs you're going to be you're going to have available to you. If you want to progress into another industry, how are you going to do that? So you can't just go and have a Udemy course on AI and then think that you're going to get project manager role. But there's definitely a strategy how you can get to that. It just needs to be really precisely thought through. But yeah, I'm getting really excited of getting to know more. I'm curious to get to know more of what's your station and how I can help. But yeah, it would be great to have a chat.
Sure, reach out to her from Las Vegas, and she's available globally to coach all you guys. So, Natalia, last and final question from me, which I mean, say, I'm closing the comments. I'm sorry, I'm closing the questions from the guests from the audience. Now, this is the last and final question, which I have written down for Natalia, which is on the screen. Lastly, Natalia, for everyone listening right now, feeling lost and hopeless because of not getting a job and feeling depressed, what's one message to leave you want to leave them with as they rebuild their career journey in 2025?
Thank you so much. So yeah, we said 2025 and probably going into 2026 as well, as it feels so approaching us so fast. So I have advice for job seekers right now. I have really five, 6 points really. The first one is your mindset. You have to shift your mindset from struggling to I'm going to succeed no matter what. The second one is the focus on the value. So not to feel desperate, but to actually, that's what we said, if you have a daily task that you need to do, knowing that these daily tasks and steps, they will result into something. So make your application conversations about the impact you can create to that job rather than just applying for the job. The third one would be build authentic connections. So again, talk to people, network, find right people to connect with. But yeah, mainly talk to people. If you stop talking to people, that's when magic stops. So you need to carry on doing that. So stop cold applying for hundreds roles and waiting for a response. Be more strategic. Have a daily task, daily steps that you need to do, and convert those conversations into an actual results. The fourth one, I would say, break it into small wins, like we said. So you have your tasks. So this is what I'm doing daily, but also what are my wins? So what is it that I would be looking for in terms of my wins? Set achievable goals. Again, connect with the 3 people on LinkedIn this week. That's not a big goal. That's not a big thing to do, but it will be an achievement. So the moment that you tick the box that is done, it's actually an achievement. The fifth one would be take care of yourself, like I said, so you have your really full on focus on the job search and you put in the time and effort into that. But then you also go into, okay, now I'm going to relax, and whatever form of relaxation that you take. But the sixth one is the most important one, I think, would be ask for a feedback. So what I mean is when you go for an interviews and they not happening, that's why it's so important for you to have the person to get in touch with as a contact. So then you can ask for a feedback. What didn't work? What worked? And I completely understand and appreciate the fact that it's often a black hole and nobody comes back and you're feeling like, oh, well, great. Now I'm being ghosted as well. But what I'm saying is the more you're going to do that, the more it will give you a feedback as well. So you will have your own view on your applications, what's working, what's not working, and how to make that feedback work for you. But if you connected specifically with a person who is the hiring manager, they are more likely to give you a feedback. So that would be my most like 6 topics I could think of right now. But I would say definitely thinking of yourself first and having a clear, I'm working hard, now I'm relaxing and I'm working hard again. That's the tactic. And having a strategy, the most important one. Don't just do a catch-22, I'm running around and nothing happening. Have a strategy.
Thank you so much, Natalia. Thank you so much. Now, Natalia, I'm sorry, but this person has bought a sticker that is he has bought. I mean, he spent money and asked this question, so I
Sure.
have to include the question because he's a paying watcher. So
Mm.
anyhow, uh, the question is from uh, the que- one moment. Let me just. Yeah, the question is from Gregory from Florida. He says, "I does not have a degree. Can I, uh, can I get a job?" I think
Yeah.
is asking about a high level white collar job. So he does not have a degree is the question. So can you answer this question?
Yeah, 100%. You don't need a degree in this world. I know plenty of people who are extremely successful and have a high positions, and they don't have a degree. So that's a theme of the past. I'll tell you more that when you have students coming out fresh out of university, and the way that they think that the right way of writing CV is all about their studies. And the reality is nobody cares so much about your studies when you get out into the job field. They working on the mindset of, can you do the job? How good are you going to be at the job? So don't let that get into your mindset. I always wanted to have another degree, and I still think that I might get, but I don't have one, and it doesn't stop me from achieving my things in the world. But trust me, I have a lot of people who making me feel throughout my life that like I need to have this, and it's truly not. You don't need that. You just need to work on how you can be a best employer for their job, how you can resolve the issues, how you can help them out grow as a company, rather than just having a degree. Plenty of people have a degree and they don't achieve, they don't contribute to the company. Degree doesn't give you a skills that you particularly might be having right now in your field, because you have to figure out different things throughout your day-to-day life, rather than somebody being taught at university or in college. So don't let that get into your head. Just try to work out the system of what is it that you can do, what is it that you're good at, and basically try to find this like a ikigai in the middle, what you're good at, what you want to help people with, and what will bring you money. And wherever it is in the middle, that will give you what you are fantastic at, and then just sell that to anyone, to any of the job market. So I hope it works for you, Gregory, and don't let that get into your head. You're definitely worth anything and more without a degree.
So Gregory, thank you so much for buying that sticker on YouTube. You really do not have to, I would have taken more questions, but because time does not permit, but you really
Mm.
does not have to spend money to ask question.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for that question. Yes, I hope you got your answer. So you know, just be honest, get uh, work on your skills, and no, I mean, say people with degrees are not having jobs, and people who does not have degrees, because they are hardworking and have skills, they've got a job. So that makes all the difference. I hope that answered your question. So because you have just joined, I would like to tell that on the screen is the website of Natalia, and what is I mean, see, the which is scrolling down on the label is also the website of Natalia. Just copy and paste this link and get in touch and understand how Natalia works and how she can help you get hired as soon as possible in a real time. She's going to give you the results. So Natalia, I listening to you is, every time you speak, there is a golden nugget of truth that sticks with people long after the show ends. And I must tell you this, Natalia, you redefine what modern career coaching looks like: practical, empowering, and rooted in genuine care. You are the kind of expert who doesn't just talk about success. This is what I really feel, and I should tell everyone about this. So you are the best of the best, and you are the expert who doesn't talk about what is success. You help people create it. Your approach is both visionary and human, and that's why your message resonates across industries and generations. And I must also tell that you are not just a guest. You are a movement in motion, inspiring people to stop settling and start designing their dream careers. So, uh, wow, Natalia, every time you join the show, it feels like we have just opened another chapter of clarity, courage, and transformation. To be very honest, I would request one more session with you in the coming days. I hope I get your dates. You are busy, as anybody can be. You're the most busy person with all the clients you serve. So you also have this incredible gift of turning uncertainty into strategy, fear into confidence, and a rejection into redirection. Um, Natalia, before I wrap up this question and close this session, is there a possibility that we can see you on the Shack podcast one more time?
Yeah, absolutely, Shak. We're having such a blast, like we said, we wanted to have this conversation so then people can have some sort of like a help out. So I think that we're definitely on the track of answering the questions, and maybe the next time we can do just Q&A of questions that we haven't covered today. But yeah, it will be always an honor to come back, and thank you so much for having me once again.
Sure, sure. So, Natalia, what you have shared today isn't just advice, it's a blueprint for every professional who's ready to stop chasing opportunities and start creating them. You don't just coach careers, you ignite purpose. You don't just talk about success, you humanize it. From the bottom of my heart, thank you for coming back to the part two, coming back for part two and pouring so much wisdom, warmth, and truth into this conversation. Your insights are like a compass for every job seeker navigating the stormy seas of today's job market. You're truly a force of transformation. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful to have had you on the Shack podcast once again. To everyone listening, go follow Natalia, connect with her, and experience her brilliance firsthand. Because when you listen to voices, when you listen to voices like hers, your entire career trajectory changes. And I'm telling that with conviction and with heart. And Natalia, thank you for being you, for inspiring thousands, and for making this world of work a more hopeful, human, and heart driven place. So, Natalia, before we wrap up this session, what is the one message you want to give to the world?
kindness. My only message to the world is always to be kind and to support one another. But kindness is something I think that we're losing in this mad, mad world of technology at the moment. So just stop in yourself and start with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Give yourself a break. Give yourself a pat on the shoulder. Shug, give yourself a pat on the shoulder. You've been absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so I would say, we need more kindness in the world. We need more kind and nice people. Be that. If we're talking about recruitment and career progressions, I hear a lot that people saying, like we said, 70%, if not 80% of workforce leave their jobs because of the bad management. And when we have these conversations and people do say, oh, I'm just hoping for a great manager, my answer is always be that manager, become one, train yourself down, do research, be a good human being. And that's how we change the world. Don't start from pointing the fingers at someone else. Start with yourself.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that last piece of advice, Natalia. And as I always say, that you are the best of the best. And thank you for sharing your wisdom on the Shack Podcast platform. To everyone, I tell you to go follow Natalia again. And say, I have to repeat that once again that this is happening on LinkedIn. So follow Natalia on LinkedIn. Reach out to her through her email and her website, and she would be happy to answer all your questions. So, with that, until next time, this is Shaq signing off with immense gratitude and admiration. Stay inspired, stay authentic, and keep crafting your dream career, just like Natalia teaches us to. Thank you all.